Hello Sagittarius, my name's Echo and thank you so much for joining me for your August 2025 tarot reading. As we begin, I just want to let you know that I am dropping this on the new moon in Leo, July 25th. Happy new moon. Be sure to go ahead and check my video to see what area of life that's going to be impacting you most. Remember to check your rising sign as well as your sun and moon, because your rising sign is going to give you a more complete view on what you can expect during this new moon cycle as we work towards the full moon. Be sure to set your intentions because this is a great time to do it. As we go forward, it's going to help you work towards whatever it is you're wanting to see. But yeah, go ahead and use that energy to your advantage. We also have a Mercury retrograde happening right now, so be sure to save any files you're working on, double check any agreements or contracts before signing them, read that fine print, and be wary of any potential for miscommunication. Anything you start during your Mercury retrograde is something you're very likely to be repeating later on. So if it's something that you're going to repeat anyway, go ahead and try to make it positive, such as new practices surrounding money that will help you succeed financially, new spiritual practices that will uplift your energy, maybe new meditations, journaling, maybe even exercise, diet routines that will help you out. But let's go ahead with this reading, and I'm going to start off with the Unicorn Oracle deck. I do have a few decks I've used before, and it's been a while. And then I have a few new decks that we're encouraging the use of in these readings. So let's go ahead and read for August for my dear Sagittarius. You start off with this card of adventure. Dare to do things differently. Manifest your travel dreams. Move to a new location. Okay, so there it is. You're kind of you don't really like to sit still, Sagittarius, okay? You're really all about adventure. You're the kind of person who does want to get up and go and do the things and do the stuff. So encouraging you to go forward and be adventurous really is kind of like putting into your head stuff you've already thought about, stuff you've already considered, okay? You may already have an adventure planned yourself that you're wanting to take in August. This may be a new venture that you're working toward. It may be a passion project, returning to one that you have visited in the past and now really giving it the push and the momentum you've always wanted to. But I feel like that's for someone very specific. You may likewise be looking at where you live and the environment you live in. Maybe the people that you live around don't really mesh with you. Maybe the space you're in is uncomfortable seasonally as far as weather goes. Or maybe it's time to move to a different house because the one that you're currently living in really isn't working. But you can't be afraid to travel from time to time and go after, it says travel dreams. So don't be afraid to go after looking at new places, seeing new things and doing new stuff, having those adventures that have been calling you in the past, because I'm hearing bucket lists. Someone's got a very particular bucket list they're needing to approach, Sagittarius, as we go forward in August. But it's summer, so why not take some of that off? Why not enjoy some of that nice warm weather and get out there and do the things you want to do? That way when people say, hey, what'd you do with your summer? I feel like you're going to be the kind of person who has some kind of story that's really more elaborate than whoever you're talking to. But again, that's for someone specific. So let's continue with the astrological deck here. I have my astrological zodiac deck that I use for these readings. This one has some celestial bodies in it, as well as the zodiac. So let's go ahead and throw these cards for you to help guide this reading. You have the card of Leo, and we were talking about, as I throw these cards, today being the new moon in Leo. So go ahead and check that reading again, my video, to see how that will impact your sign and what area of life you can expect to see the most change in and the most influence. But Leo is a very passionate, courageous energy, the lion, okay? And I feel like you're going to be embracing this energy a lot as we go into August. And it's not because you haven't wanted to in the past. I mean, sometimes we get down in the doldrums, we kind of meh, and we step away from something for one reason or another. It doesn't have to be for any one particular specific reason. But when we have this sort of mentality and we feel kind of down in the dumps, it makes us feel a bit of less drive. I don't want to say complete apathy and meh, like you don't care about something, but I feel like your courageous nature and your strength are going to be returning. There's going to be a certain sense of vitality that comes to you in August, and it could be coming from a friendship circle. It could be coming from environments that you're already in and people that you're already around, or this being able to revisit a passion project, being able to step forward in something that truly does matter to you in a really big way. But let's go ahead and continue this reading. I have this holographic Rider-Waite deck, and I love holographic cards. They're so pretty. But let me go ahead and throw these cards for you, Sagittarius, and we'll see what else August is bringing your way. You start off with this card of Three of Wands. So you're recognizing in the past where maybe your passion has been stolen from you. And those are like literal words that were just ripped out of my mouth. Thank you, Spirit. Your passion has been stolen away in the past by someone else, and you've been unable to create things. Not entirely. I feel like you've still been plugging away at it because you have a need, Sagittarius. That adventurous spirit does still need to be fed, but not in the way that you want it to. You wanted things to be, you wanted more inclusion is what I'm hearing, okay? And this might mean just having someone in your corner, you know, cheering you on. Hey, good job on this, good job on that. Or it might be looking for partners or friends that help you in your creative things. I'm hearing collaborative, collaborate. But you've been unable to do this, and it has robbed you of your passion in the past. And for whatever reason, you felt like either their heart wasn't in it or they weren't here to add their energy. Whatever element that was there kind of stepped away and had to pull back for a reason. But I feel like that might be returning in the month of August, as these cards here indicate, okay? Let's go ahead and see what's crossing you, my dear Sagittarius. Oh, let's do one card. What's crossing you is the Magician. The Magician is talking all about the energy that you're capable of bringing to something and what you're creating and what you're capable of adding to. You're recognizing as we go forward in the month of August that you have all the tools, even without other people, to do what it is you want. You just liked the idea of having someone, you know, help put into this and help create something the way you imagined it. But sometimes reimagining things can help us find something better than what we originally intended. And it doesn't mean that this is necessarily what's going to happen for you. We'll continue to throw the cards and see if there are other people in these cards. But so far, it feels like you're the standalone person. And I just noticed, because this isn't always the case in all Magician cards across all decks, but in this one it is. But I want to show this to you. There's a crowd watching this Magician perform his magic, okay? They're not always there, not in every tarot deck, and I will fight you on this. But this Magician has a crowd, so I feel like other people are seeing you create things. They're showing up to see what you've created, regardless of whether other people are helping you or not, because you hold the magic. It's about what you want to bring about. And it might be if other people are involved, you're the person that they need to take that first step because they're afraid, because no one wants to be the first person on the dance floor. So what's crossing you is realizing how your magic is going to be what lends to creating whatever it is you've been looking toward very specifically. Let's go ahead and continue this reading and see what you have. What else do you have for my Sagittarius in the month of August? Here you have the King of Wands in reverse. Yeah, more Wands energy. So you've seen where your lack of passion has come from, okay? You've seen where the power to go after whatever you want has been robbed from you. And you're contemplating, do I really want to perform for the crowd? Do I really want to include other people in my endeavor? And it's not because you don't care about them. It's not because you don't like the idea of whatever project or endeavor you're working on turning out the way you first planned. It's because of something that's happened recently. I feel like this might be, you wanted to do something a very specific way, and either somebody told you no, or they took away their input to the situation, but somebody kind of stole your power away to do something in a very creative way, or even your will to go on with doing things the way you've been doing them, okay? Because we're talking about passion and fire and your will, and that's where our power comes from, Sagittarius. That's where we get that adventurous spirit. That's where we get that oomph, is wanting something so bad because it means so much to us. And I really feel like somebody robbed you of that in the past, and now you're just addressing that in a different way, contemplating where you've been. I've got fuzzies all over this. Contemplating where you've been so you can address this in a way that either revisits what you wanted to create so the project takes on a new flavor, or, you know, taking their input with a grain of salt moving forward. But let's continue this reading. Next, you have the Hierophant in reverse. The Hierophant is talking about a rite of passage. It can also point towards structures such as schools, religions, organized groups, that sort of things, okay? So maybe you're in a school and you're working on a project, or maybe you're in an organization or a club, maybe you're in a band. So I feel like it's some sort of particular people group that has you thinking, and you're You're thinking about how it didn't really help you. It didn't really serve you. And now you're contemplating, do you even fit that format anymore? Like if you are in a band, are you really cool with being part of the band? Or are you more content? Do you find yourself more suited to being the individual artist where nobody can kind of throw a monkey wrench in your plans? And there's a monkey sitting, as I say this, there's a monkey sitting on the back end of the magician. That's not always there either. That's kind of unique. But you're kind of tired of people throwing things into your plans that kind of derail it. And you're just wondering if you should collaborate with a specific structure, okay, moving forward. If it's part of a club or a school, I feel like it's very much the same thing. Do you still fit that space? Do you still fit that whole way of doing things, their structure, their whole organization? Or have you outgrown it in some way? You're questioning this as you go forward. And you're beginning to wonder, what do you really bring to the table? That not only helps them, but helps you too. Because we can't do something that gives only of ourselves, Sagittarius. If it's not giving back to you, why are you even part of it? Okay. It's taking from you is all it is. But let's go ahead and continue to crown you with this reading and see what we have coming. King of Swords in reverse. Another king in reverse. How odd. The King of Swords in reverse says, yeah, there's some sort of miscommunication. You feel like someone may have lied to you. Someone may have made promises to you. Someone may have broken a promise. Whatever it is, something didn't come through in a way that really worked for you. And it's got you in your thoughts. It's got you in your headspace. And you're kind of confused as to, should I really go forward with this? Should I really continue? Should I give this another chance? Or is this really something I've outgrown? You're very in your head at this time and trying to wield power and make sense of it all as we go forward into August. So you can make a step that's really going to bring progress rather than risk, repeating a chapter or, just going over old things we've been through. Okay. Let's go ahead and continue this reading. The Six of Cups in reverse. Yeah, the Six of Cups talks about not being able to go back to the way things used to be. Six of Cups upright is more about returning to childlike wonder, good times, how things used to be. In reverse, this says you really don't feel like that's something that you can capture again. You're not seeing it so far, and for the foreseeable future, you're still having to question it, even though you're hopeful. You may already see blatantly that this isn't going to work, okay? And I feel like someone's trying to convince you. Someone's saying, oh yeah, we should totally do the thing. We're all about this, if you just keep putting forward, just keep putting forward. But be wary because this can indicate that, and this is for someone specific, this can indicate that there is someone who's encouraging you. We can do this. And when you guys get together and start working whatever it is you work on, they're going to have their 2 cents, and then their 2 cents is going to become 10 cents, and their 10 cents is going to become a whole dollar. Basically, they're going to try to take over the whole project, and you guys are going to butt heads. Again, I feel like that's for someone very specific, but there's some sort of underhanded energy here. Like somebody might even take whatever it is you guys are working on. It could be that you're in a structure like a school, a club, or something like that, and they're taking all your input, they're taking all your advice, they're taking all your energy. You're telling them how you did things when you were solo, and they're going to take what they learned from you and just use it to their own advantage. They may even take something that you make. So just be wary. If you've got a gut feeling and alarm bells and warning bells are going off in your head telling you, then listen to those, okay? Because your intuition is never wrong. It is our guidance system. Everyone has it. It's another sense in the body. So go ahead and listen if it's telling you, hesitate, don't do this. Something isn't given back to you. Something's looking to take. You're bringing the Lovers in reverse. This is the Gemini card, okay? And Gemini is all about conversation, structure, bit of a social butterfly. They like to get out there, they like to have fun, and they are known as the twin sign because they also have conversely a sign that steps back, a side of them, that steps back and doesn't really encompass that kind of energy. They like to do their own thing. They like to be that, free bird kind of energy, free bird, because they're an air sign, okay? But they're very, they're bubbly and they're energetic, and some people really, they worry about Geminis, but as a Gemini, does put out towards other people, they do withdraw to look after themselves, which might be why this card is here. You're contemplating how much of yourself you need to draw back and how much of yourself you need to give out. In reverse, this indicates that that's exactly what that is. You're contemplating, am I giving too much to other people? How can I try to make this work but not give too much of myself? Okay, like one toe in the water, one toe out. So I feel like this could almost have been the Temperance card. But you're looking at what doesn't give back to you at this time, and you're feeling it. You're on a gut level. Like I said, your intuition's never wrong. You know when something's right for you and when it's not. So you're going to be approaching whatever the situation with open eyes. Like there's not rose-colored glasses going on here at all. Spirit is lending the energy of the Tower in reverse. It's time to rebuild. Just as the Tower stands as, you know, life is, how our structure is, these individuals are jumping from the tower because the lightning that struck it. Their only other choice is to, you know, we risk falling, maybe die, maybe we just break some limbs, or for sure stay in the tower and burn to death. So they're jumping. In reverse, this says that this person, the people in this tower are actually, you know, they're not falling, they're rising upward with this card in reverse, okay? They're going down to a foundation where they're going to be able to rebuild. Sometimes tower things happen in our life, tower moments. This could be the end of a cycle, a friendship, a structure, something that just doesn't work for us anymore. So we can level the foundation and build it even and build something even better on a solid foundation, okay? So you are going to be looking to rebuild, and Spirit is encouraging you at this time. Make sure that foundation you're on is cleared away and the rubble from the last tower is gone. If it's was someone who let you down in the past and you do want to move forward with them, let bygones be bygones. Don't bring up the past. Don't bring up any mud. Just be wary if you start to see those patterns repeat, okay? Because that would be like someone picking up that rubble and throwing it back on your nice flat foundation you're trying to rebuild on. And you don't want that. So go ahead and level that foundation, clear things out. I'm hearing clear the air. So you can build something new. Spirit is encouraging you to try a different way, try something new. And if you decide this is with other people, just be sure that that foundation is clear and steady in order to do that. Your positions of hope and fears, you have the Knight of Cups in reverse. Yeah, you're worried someone's going to hurt you again. You're worried someone's going to put on like they're your friend and knife you in the back, okay? I'm sorry, but there it is. You're feeling like there is a little bit of heartache because someone is out to get you, okay? This feels very personal. It could be because they're after a passion project, or they're messing up an organization that you're part of where you were once, you know, part of the team, maybe even a leader in a structure, but now they're really not putting into you the way they used to. Or maybe they're genuinely coming after you in some way and you're feeling it, you know it. But you know what? Turnabout's fair play. If bullies go around, and I'm going to say this, not many other tarot readers and spiritual guides will tell you what I'm about to tell you, but I know from experience, if you let people push you around over and over and over and over, it will put you in a negative, horrible mindset, and eventually you'll become that which you hate. But this doesn't mean you need to take their abuse and, you know, take the high road by not saying anything. No, there's nothing wrong with putting your foot down and saying, I don't appreciate this behavior. I don't appreciate this. It's causing this in my life, and you need to stop. You're just calling them out. You're not reciprocating that energy. You're not going after them. You're not being mean and nasty. You're simply drawing a line in the sand. So if you feel like somebody is coming after you in a way that's emotionally hurting you, draw that line in the sand. If it is a friend group, if it is a structure, if it is an individual who maybe isn't putting into you as much as you need, there's nothing wrong with saying, hey, we don't communicate the way I would like, or hey, I'm not really sure I agree with you on this, or hey, we're not really spending as much time together as I would like to. When we say we're going to get together for one reason or another, it always cancels. Can we maybe find a set time to do the thing? Then that way you know, and they know, hey, this is part of my schedule, this is part of a thing. It's an agreement between the two of you. But keep in mind, we have that Mercury retrograde energy, so your communication needs to be very specific and very clear. And if it does need to be adjusted, because we're talking about possibly revisiting things with Mercury retrograde, don't be afraid to have that conversation as well, and maybe adjust the time or the day. What is the long-term outcome of this reading for my Sagittarius spirit? What is the long-term outcome? Here you have the Eight of Wands. Yes, finally, forward movement. So the Eight of Wands is, let's go. You're ready to move forward and take action on whatever the situation is. Because you stood your ground, you've done your homework, you've done all the thought, okay? But you're more in a Leo and, you know, the adventure card energy. You want to see progress, and you're going to have it. If you have to step through all these things and tell all the people the stuff and listen to your gut, you're absolutely ready to knuckle down and do it, because this is what's going to be giving you that forward movement, that taking action and going towards whatever you want. And this might mean even changing the plan from what you originally wanted it to be, the outcome of a project, moving on from a structure or group that doesn't work for you. It might mean just flipping the whole thing on its head and doing it a different way, but it's still going to be forward movement, and I really feel like nothing is going to stop you as you go forward. So let's continue with the tarot deck I have, and I'm pretty sure I'm pronouncing this wrong. This is the Tarot de la Nuit. I don't know, it might be French. I don't know, I don't speak French. But going forward, let's see what we have coming out of these decks, all right? All right, what blessings do you have for my Sagittarius in the month of August? What blessings do you have? Give us a blessing. Eight of Pentacles, right after the Eight of Wands. Haha. So the Eight of Pentacles says whatever it is you're wanting to see come about in a financial matter, this could be one you're already dealing with. It could be the benefits from whatever's going on here. You're going to see it, okay? In real time, by the end of the month. I can't tell you exactly when, we have to look at the astrology, but by the end of the month, you are going to start seeing progress. You are going to start seeing the closure of a cycle that wasn't working to bring you to whatever it is you are wanting to see. There's definitely going to be progress in the month of August for you that, I'm hearing fruits of your labor that make you feel truly, what's the word I'm looking for? I'm hearing truly honored, but that's not what I was thinking. That make you feel truly valued, okay? Truly appreciated for what you bring to the table. And it might be because you cut out people who weren't appreciating you and you found it within yourself. Or it might be that you found a group or a new organization that does fit you and does suit you. But that is going to require some clear and open communication. And that is going to require telling anybody who's overstepping boundaries to stop it, all right? So let's see, what does my Sagittarius maybe not see coming in the month of August? This could be additional hurdles. This could be just some left field stuff you left untended, anything at all. Here you have the Eight of Swords. The Eight of Swords is talking about unblocking yourself from a place where you have felt stuck. So yeah, because you're taking everything on, all these eights, 888 have been the last three cards. Check your numerology. What is 888? But the Eight of Swords is talking about getting up from where you have been held down. The individual in this card is folded up under her wings, almost like she's sleeping and she's not defeated. She could open up her wings and take flight anytime she absolutely wanted to. And you're going to find that you're capable of opening up your wings and taking flight in the month of August, whether someone else is with you to help you do it or not. You're not being held back. It's like, I'm doing the thing, and whoever wants to be a part of this and come with me, come on ahead. But if not, you know, that's fine. I'm going to do it anyway. And I feel like this is tied to that adventure card as I motion toward it. Like, all right, I'm getting in the car and I'm going to the place. Who wants to go with me? So that's really what you're at. And you don't see this coming because it feels like you're going to have to put your foot down and say to someone, look, I'm doing this with or without you. And you might blatantly say that to someone. You might even say it in like a joking manner, but they're going to see through it. They're going to know that you genuinely mean, Sagittarius, yeah, I'm doing the stuff and you're not stopping me. What do we have in a card of advice for my Sagittarius as we go forward? And that jumped out, so I'm going to take it. The Devil. Now, the Devil card is not an evil card. The Devil card is talking about letting go of that which holds us back, okay? Going forward and moving in a space that goes beyond fear, goes beyond being the slave of whatever's got us held back. And the Devil card is encouraging you at this time to go ahead and do that. Like I said, I'm going. Who's going with me? No one? Okay, I'm still going. And I feel like that's going to be you in the month of August. You're going to take steps to move forward. You're going to unlock that fear and step into a new way of being, a new way of doing things. And nothing is holding you back. So I like this reading for you. It looks like August is going to be very interesting, Sagittarius. Just keep that adventure. Use that new moon in Leo and you're not going to be able to be held back, because when you're taking stock of everything, I feel like you're very intuitive, you're very on top of the situation as it is, and you've already decided how you're going to address it. It's really going to benefit you this month. My name is Echo. Thank you so much for joining me. This is a very wonderful reading, Sagittarius. Have a great day, and I will see you next time.